Hello everybody, this is Diane. I am going to do a flip through of these 3 Traveler's Notebook journals that I just finished creating. But first I want to show you some fun mail that I got yesterday. I got 2 envelopes and I covered up the addresses so you could see the stamp that was made on this envelope. Gives me a hint of the what's inside. And I also have, the other one is a nicely decorated one, but we'll get to that. This one is from Mary in Florida. So thank you, Mary, for this. These ladies both pay attention to what I talk about, as so many of you do, and you send me things for upcoming themed journals that I'm doing. She said she was hoping that the pansy items would come in time, and they did not. I mailed the pansy journals out yesterday, but these are beautiful items, and I can use them in any journal. They don't have to be in a pansy journal. This is just a little note card, and another card, some pansies right there, and a little book plate that would have been perfect in one of those, the one with the purple end paper, and then some washi tape. It's got pansies on it and it says bloom, but I can use those things in other journals. And then she sent me some strawberry things, and now that I'm done with the Traveler's Notebook journals, the strawberry journals will be excuse me, the next ones that I'll be working on. So she sent me these really awesome recipe cards. And apparently this is a stamp. I wondered if she drew it herself because it says Grandma's Garden, strawberries. Do I love to sketch them or eat them more? I can't decide. And I wondered if she did that, but it must be a stamp. She stamped it several times for me to use on appropriately colored paper. Isn't that awesome? Oh, it's two. Yay. So I'll probably color them somehow, and just, yeah, I'll use them. And this beautiful bright fabric with strawberries and the blossoms all over it. And there's a pretty good size piece here to make fabric flips or pockets, or the binding cover. And then this is so great. It is a stationery page with the strawberry on the background. I love the gingham, and it's got assorted berries at the top, but the big one on the stamp is strawberry. And she sent me 2 sheets of that. Thank you very, very much, Mary. I so appreciate it, and I can't wait to get going on the strawberry journals and get these items put into those journals. And then this one is from Mardell, and I love the envelope that she did. It's got wrapping paper strips and this beautiful vintage lady, and on the back is a gorgeous stamp sticker, and this is a stamp. I think I have that stamp, Tim Holtz, but I don't think I have this one. So let's go inside and see what's in this. I opened these both yesterday, so I already know what's in here. But I got 2 envelopes decorated with strawberries, so you guys know I'm into the strawberries and ready to make strawberry journals. This says, these are from the Ray Label Corporation in Birmingham, Alabama. The package had no barcode, but aren't they just the prettiest little book plates? I love them. They look like they would be from the 70s, just from the coloration of them, but I don't know. And this, I love this, Mardell. This is so great. It says made with punches, and they are strawberries, but they were not made with a strawberry punch. It was made with a heart-shaped punch and a flower punch. trying to pick that up. Oh, that one's attached. So anyway, this one is all put together. It's a heart-shaped punch and 2 flowers, green and yellow, and then she added this, green and white, and then she added the yellow center and made the little seeds on it. And she did a whole bunch of them. So what an awesome idea. I've got to try to make some. So there's a bunch here, and then just some blossoms I can scatter around. And more and more and more. So cool. They'll make just wonderful little embellishments and parts of collages. And then she cut this out of a magazine and added that. And this is a ribbon with strawberries on it. A fabric ribbon, and it's quite a bit there, I think. And this came out of a book, ice cream. I like strawberry ice cream. And there's a fish and an eagle one too. And this pink ribbon, it's flocked. I love the color of it. And this is a strawberry basket that she backed onto cardstock. Looks like it came out of a magazine or catalog. Makes me want to reach in there and pick out a berry and eat it. This says, the swan is for your someday weather junk journal. And I thought, a swan for my weather journal? But it's a weather swan. Remember those things that the liquid in there would change color and tell you what the weather was going to be? That is awesome. And then in here also are some strawberry labels. So these can be book plates in my journals maybe. And ad for strawberry plants or seeds. Did I read this? Yes, I did read it. Yes. Thank you, Mardell. And the wrapping paper. I loved the wrapping paper that was on the envelope, and I have a piece of it. So I can decorate with this. Isn't that pretty? And I like that it's matte. And then this piece of stationery just has this green border, but it's perfect for strawberry journals. Looks like there's one sheet of that, but it's a perfect color. Then she also sent me some things for another upcoming themed journal that I'll be doing. There's some sailboats on the card, but there are seashells inside. So there's that. Came out of a book. This looks like field guide pages. And little notes with the clamshells. Postcard. And another postcard. And some stationery. So I'm very excited to have these items. I want to do a seahorse and a seashell journal. Seahorse because, well, I love the images of seahorses, but I also have a book. I think I showed you the cover of that book, didn't I? That has, it's called Seahorse, and it's a children's book, so it has a cute illustration on the front. So those are the Happy Mail envelopes that I got yesterday, and thank you very much, Mary and Mardell. I really, really had fun going through them, and I appreciate your thoughtfulness. Now let's get into these journals that I made. I'm calling these Rustic Traveler's Notebook because they don't really have a theme, but they do have a rustic look to them. More neutral colored and rustic. And they're kind of a stash buster because I just pulled stuff out of my stash of stickers and printables that I already had printed, and all kinds of things, elements went into these journals that were just stash buster journals. So I used this cardstock for the front, for the cover, and I added a piece. I did a collage on the front of all of them with a piece of fabric, and this is a digital journaling card, and a used cardboard number stencil. And this is just how it was. I had used it, and I used brown and green inks on it, so I just sewed it on the way it was, and I added this little metal piece that slides over the edge and a rusty safety pin. I forgot how many pages, but there's quite a few, like 13 pages. I put this on for book plate. And I did use a digital kit in here, and it's TLC Creates Vintage. It's her Ledger TN kit. And I did a ruffle here with a vintage fabric and some paper. I did some stenciling and stamping on a lot of the pages. This has both stenciling and stamping. And this is coffee dyed scrapbook paper with a bit of lace, and I made a pocket. I have a video showing how I made the pocket. It's not anything fancy. It's a book page sewn to cardstock, and I just added a couple of fabric strips and a postage stamp. This is a digital tag that I've had it printed out for a long time, and this came from a botanical field notes book. I just put it in there, and you can take it out and do what you want with it. You can cut those images and do something with them. This is a page that I did stamping on and just added a couple pieces of scraps there. This is a 6x6 scrapbook paper that I coffee dyed, and I added this piece of cardstock and just a couple little embellishments and a felt tab. I did some fabric collages on some of the edges of the pages, and I included a page from an Edith Holden book, and I made a tab here with a little Tim Holtz number on it, just cut from an old piece of scrapbook paper. There again is that ledger page. There are 4 pages from that ledger journal kit in each journal, but there's lots of other writing space. We have the blank pages and ledger, and you'll see what else there is in here to write on. There's just a scrap of paper there, and a digital from Nevermore Creations. It's I don't know if they're called button cards. I've had it for a long time, but it does have a little button sewn on, or it's an image of a button, and it just has a pretty botanical image. So I used one of those in each of the journals, and this is just a little piece of letter paper, stationery paper, that's got fibers in it, and this pretty design, and a vintage ledger page. Just a little page from a dot grid notebook that's coffee dyed and stamped. I did a video showing how I made the photo slide frame here, and this is a photo from the 1960s of a woman and her dog on the very day she got the dog, and the dog's name is Scarlet because on the back of the photo it says the day I got Scarlet. And I just did a collage on this page, and there's space to write on it. There's a flip out here you can write on. You can fold this over and write on all of that. And this is a vintage ink blotter from 1941. A piece of wrapping paper and a couple of cardstock stickers that I've had in my stash for a long time. And in a Happy Mail, quite a long time ago, I had gotten this paper clip that somebody collaged together for me, and I just clipped it onto the page and put this is from a railroad company ledger book or log book, a sheet that you can write on. And I made a pocket here with a illustration from a children's book and just a little scrap of Tim Holtz paper, and inside the pocket I just tucked this page from a workbook, vintage children's workbook, and you have room to write on that. Another flip out here. It's just got a piece of ephemera there and a little sticker, and the cut off piece of doily, of a handmade doily. Well, it's a punched doily with a Martha Stewart doily punch. I don't remember where the full piece of that is now. But anyway, that's a cut off piece of doily behind it. And then on this page, I have this on a video also of the 3 pockets, and these are all cut from Tim Holtz paper. I think they are house numbers, but I love the weathered and rusted look of them. So I sewed them on together as 3 pockets and then just tucked in little bits of ephemera. So some of these are digitals that I've had in my stash for a while. A Tim Holtz ticket I've had for ages. More ephemera, digital ephemera. And this is a little tag that was made with book paper. And I got this in Happy Mail. I stamped "Have a Beautiful Day" right there. There's another little fabric cluster. And a fabric ruffle. A sticker there. Oh, there's that piece of doily. And a vintage library pocket that I decorated, and it has the original continuation of all of this, actually. And then on the back cover is a vintage coin envelope with the metal clasp on it, and I just distressed it a little bit with some ink and added a vintage tag. My signature is on the back of the tag, but this I got this at a flea market, and each of the journals got one of those. There's a collage on the front of the envelope, and then tucked behind it is a page from a 1951 or 54 appointment book. I don't remember the exact year, but it is from the 50s. So I'm just naming them by the number of their stencil. This is number 2. I have 2, 3, and 4. So that's number 2. And I'll just quickly go through the other ones. They all have the same items, the same design, I guess, but different images, different items were used. So this one has a few different fabrics on the collage. Again, the rusty safety pin, a stamped piece, the metal piece right there. I just love this paper. It says "You Are My Sunshine" right there. This is one of the TLC digital pages. Again, this is a digital tag, and this I purchased the original tag at a flea market. So that digital tag came from my shop. There's a digital set called Tickets and Tags, and this is from a trees field guide. Here's the collage on this page. It's just the same lady with her cat, and this was in 1959, so it's earlier than the other photo. And another ink blotter. I love the images on this one. And I just got these ink blotters, so I'm not hoarding them much as I wanted to. I'm using them. I just put a quirky sticker on that page. You could write something, like write a date or something, and then put a photo there if you wanted. And on this paper clip that was from the same Happy Mail giver, I put this railroad ticket that is a stamp. My friend Jill Robertson gave me a stack of those years ago, and even though she gave me so many of them, I have been hoarding them. I got them and put them in a place where I would see them, and I'm going to use them because I love them. They're so cool. Another pocket with a book page illustrated, a children's book illustration, and a Tim Holtz element down there. Love this picture. Love the colors. And again, the other part of that workbook page. Some more elements in those pockets. This has a lot in it. There's a lot of techniques in it with the stenciling and the stamping and all of the things that I added, but there's still a lot of room for writing. It's a writer's journal. You could make lists in it, take notes in it, journal in it. There's a doily back there. It's a little more subtle here because those colors blend in. But this is a vintage library pocket. And this part is dated starting with 1957. So this didn't come with that pocket. And again, the the tag is in there, and the appointment page. And then number 4, and these are all just tied with a strip of muslin. I put a fabric piece on the edge of that, and there's a fabric down here, and the metal piece, and on the safety pin here I have this number hanging. This piece right here came from a very, very old almanac, just a little magazine type of almanac with the dry and brittle paper. Got it at the flea market recently, and it was very, very torn and beat up, but I did save these advertisement pieces. I thought they were so cool, so I just sewed that on there. And another page from the tree field guide here. This is another ticket tag that's in my Tickets and Tags digital kit. This is a card I picked up at a flea market. IBM Club Swap and Shop. IBM is a manufacturing place that's pretty well known. Well, I was thinking of the IR, Ingersoll Rand. This, you know, everybody knows IBM. There's an IBM locally in New York, but near me. So that's what that came from, apparently. Well, if you're in the US, you know IBM, I should say. They're in technology. And the last collage, another color image of the lady and her dog, I believe taken on the same day. I just think those colors look really great with the colors of this tissue and against the colors that are in the collage. I think it all just works very nicely. And I did a mistake when I put this ink blotter on. I didn't put it close enough to this edge so that it was way too long, and I had to cut part of it off. But you still get, you know, the greater share of the image there. She just lost a little bit of the top of her hat. And this one is a digital ticket. And this is a paper clip that someone made for me, and it's got clay or something on it. I think it came from the same person that made the other paperclip elements. And then another book page, children's book pocket, and I put one of the Tim Holtz stitched fabric pieces there, and one of the Tim Holtz cards inside there. You can journal on the back. More elements in those pockets. This is a sticker. It's a digital, I'm not sure what digital kit it's from, but I Long time ago I printed some pages onto sheets of stickers that I got at a flea market or thrift shop or something. So I peeled off one of the stickers and just stuck it up there. It's light enough you could write it, use it as a label, put a picture down below it. And another library pocket. This one I had to cover this part and this part because it had black marker on it. They X things out when they get rid of the books. So this is all scraps of Tim Holtz paper here and a cardstock sticker. So there we go. I had so much fun putting elements together for these journals. We have journal 2, 3, and 4. So you'll see them in the listing, but it'll be TN Journal number 2, TN Journal number 3, TN Journal number 4. So I hope that you like these. Tell me what you think about these eclectic little journals. They're quick and easy to make because I'm just grabbing elements and throwing them in. I'm not spending a lot of time making ephemera pieces. So they didn't take very long to make, and they were just so much fun. I hope you like them too, because I would like to make more of these. Thanks for watching. Have a creative day today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.